guys, happy Sunday. I hope everybody is doing relatively well, staying sane and exercised, and not forgetting to get a little bit bendy every few days. I know a lot of us are spending a lot of time on Zoom and our phones and chasing kids around and everything else. So just make sure you're taking time to stretch and work on your flexibility and just relax a little bit. Be doing a couple of classes here on YouTube so that you can access them whenever you want, and maybe there will be a Zoom class or something like that in the future as well. So with that being said, if you want to take a seat, cross your legs, if you want to pause here for a second and grab something to sit on, I have a block. You can grab a cushion, a pillow, anything like that. You can go ahead and take a seat on that. So just take a seat and cross your legs. We'll start by just breathing for a few minutes. So go ahead and deepen your inhales. Exhale. Inhaling. Exhaling all the way out. And do about 3 more of those on your own. Go ahead and inhale your hands all the way up. Exhaling down. Inhale up. Exhale your left hand down. Go ahead and drop your right hand to the left side of your head, and go ahead and drop your head towards your right ear. I'm sorry, your right ear towards your right shoulder. So dropping to the right, you just feel the stretch along the left side of your neck. Go ahead and drop your head forward, letting your head hang all the way. And coming over to the left, so left ear to left shoulder. Hold there for a moment, and go ahead and slowly roll back to the other side. Dropping your right ear to your right shoulder, keeping your back straight, your tailbone tucked under. Go ahead and drop back over to the opposite side once more. Just feel a nice stretch from the bottom of your chin all the way down to the top of your shoulder. And go ahead and drop it through the middle. And go ahead and inhale up. Exhale down. I'm going to shift a little bit so you can see which hand I'm using. So inhale up. Use your left hand, grab the back of your right arm, and drop your right hand down your back. Reaching that right hand, feeling the stretch along the whole right side, all down through here. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale your hands up. Take your right hand, reach your right hand for the back of your left arm, pulling that elbow in and up, feeling the stretch along your whole left side body, keeping that tailbone tucked under. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Repeating that one more time. Inhale up, drop that right hand down, grab that right elbow, reaching down. If you want to, you can use your left hand, take it up around behind you and pull that way instead for a little bit of a deeper stretch. Inhaling up, exhale down. Inhale those hands up to the ceiling. Drop that left hand down your back. Use your right hand to grab your left elbow. Or again, if you want a deeper stretch, take that right hand around behind your back. And go ahead and just deepen that stretch for a moment or two. Inhale up and exhale down. You can go ahead, if you're sitting on a block or a cushion of some sort, take that out from under you and just put it to the side. You won't need that again just yet. I'm going to go ahead and readjust my mat for a minute. And you can just lay on your back. So rolling flat onto your back, keeping your neck neutral. We're going to warm up hamstrings and glutes. So flat on your back, bring your right knee up, and go ahead and push into a bridge. So left glute, left leg should be engaged. Take your right heel, gently rest it on top of your left knee. So don't push your knee away, just rest it there. And that should be opening up your hips. Then go ahead and pulse up and down about 3 times. And just gently resting that right heel on that left knee. Making sure to be fully engaged that left glute. Remembering to breathe here. Dropping your right foot down to the ground. Engage through your right glute and the rest of your right leg. Pushing down through that right foot. Inhale that left leg up. And go ahead and drop that left heel to rest it on top of that right kneecap. Staying engaged through the glute in the right leg. Go ahead and pulse 3 or 4 times here. Inhaling down and exhaling as you rise. Go ahead and take your left foot, put it on the ground. Staying engaged, pelvis should be facing toward the ceiling, glutes engaged, feet pressing down through the floor. Take your hands and press them up with your fingers interlaced, so palms are facing the ceiling. Push up, and then drop your hands behind you if you want a little bit more of a stretch there. Bring them back up, and take your left hand and use it to pull back your right fingertips. Drop it behind your head if you want to. Inhaling up, and switching. Dropping your left fingertips back, using your right hand to pull those fingertips open a little bit more. Stay engaged here so you're in that bridge position. Hands up, exhale down, and then slowly roll down, starting with your upper back, middle back, lower back, sacrum. Slowly rolling down. Losing my earbud. Go ahead and cross your legs and come through to hands and knees. So we'll move into a cat-cow position. So most of us have done this before. Hands planted underneath your shoulders, knees planted underneath your hips. Go ahead and inhale as you bring your chest forward. Exhale as you push into cat. Inhale. Exhale, pushing the floor away. Inhaling forward. Exhaling back. You want a little bit of a different feeling here, you can do a barrel roll. So from right to left, left to right. If that's not working for you, or if any of these poses aren't working for you, just go ahead and drop in a child's pose. I'm going to give you a hip stretch and a stretch through your arms. Otherwise, coming back into cat-cow. Then we're going to go ahead and push into downward facing dog. Some of us might not have done these in a while. You can go ahead and heel toe it out. Just move around a little bit. Maybe drop your heels from side to side. It's a nice hip stretch. And just move around, do whatever feels good here. And go ahead and inhale that right, oops, there's a wall there. Inhale that right leg up, toes all facing down. Step through into a low lunge. Inhaling up. Wrap your left hand around your right wrist and go ahead, stretch to the side, back up, switch hands, stretch to the other side while staying engaged through your feet so everything else is stable while you're doing this. And you're up here. What are we doing next? You go ahead and drop your left hand to the inside of your right foot and come up into a high lunge and reach your right hand up toward the ceiling. You can lean through that left arm a little bit as long as it's staying straight and strong. Hands should be stacked right underneath your shoulder. Spend about 2 breaths here. You can go ahead and begin to walk over to the side, coming into a side lunge. So left knee is bent, right leg is extended, right hand can go down, left hand can open up. And then go ahead and walk back to the front into that low lunge, plant your hands, step back into plank, and exhale as you lower all the way down. Flip your feet so that the tops of your feet are on the mat. Plant your hands under your shoulders. Inhale for cobra. Exhale into downward facing dog. Repeating that little sequence on the opposite side. Inhaling that left leg up. All toes pointing down. Exhaling as you step forward into your low lunge. Inhale up. Take your left hand, wrap it around your right hand to pull open that right side body. And go ahead and switch to the opposite side. Right hand around your left hand. Exhale, right hand to the inside of your left foot. Pop up into that higher lunge. Shoulders should be over your hand. Opening up your left hand to the ceiling. About 2 or 3 breaths here. You can go ahead and walk your hands around for a side lunge. So left leg extended, right knee is bent. Plant your left hand if you want to deepen this a little bit, reaching that right hand up for the ceiling. Take a breath here. And begin to walk your hands back around to the front into that low lunge, planting your hands. Then go ahead and step back into that plank position. Exhale as you lower down. And flip your feet if you want to, or you can keep your toes down for an upward facing dog. Oh, don't have your toes down for that. And go ahead and push into downward facing dog. Inhale that right leg up. Stepping forward into a high lunge this time. And then you're gonna drop your hands and go into a runner's lunge. We've done this before if you've ever been to a Saturday morning class. So dropping that left knee towards the ground, dig your right heel into the ground and pull back. You should really feel that activation in the back of your right hamstring. Go ahead and put the weight in your right foot. Come forward into a half split. You can have your hands down on the ground, ideally. And then out of this, listen carefully, we're gonna go ahead and take our left knee and drop it behind our right leg, coming into a seated twist. Maybe this is enough, maybe you stay here, or maybe you plant your right hand on the ground and you reach your left hand for the wall behind you. We're gonna do that little flow about 3 times. So cartwheeling your hands back over, coming up into that half split, and dropping into the runner's lunge. So again, the runner's lunge, your left knee is bent, your right leg is straight. You should really feel the stretch in your right hamstring. Put all the weight in your right foot to come into that half split. Now we're going into that seated twist again. So take your left leg, bend your knee, and bring it behind your right leg. And again, stay here if this is good enough for you. Maybe plant your right hand, reach your left hand toward the back of the room, really getting that left side body and left hip stretch. And cartwheeling around, doing this one more time. So you're in that half split, dropping that left leg to the back, bending your knee, coming into your runner's lunge, and then coming up into that standing half split. Toes are pointed down. I hope my toes are pointed down for most of that video. Go ahead and take that left knee, bring it behind your right leg for your seated twist. Again, maybe you stay here, maybe roll your shoulders, or you can continue with dropping your right hand and reaching your left hand toward the back of the room. And cartwheel your hands, come back around, and we'll pop into a plank from there. Go ahead and exhale as you lower down. Flip your feet so your feet are laying on top of your mat. Take your hands and put your hands out to either side of the mat, right at about shoulder height. And you can go ahead and roll your back a few times here. So pushing up through your fingertips and then rolling down vertebrae by vertebrae. And do that about 3 times. And we're going to go ahead and plant our hands. We go up for upward facing dog. Pushing the downward facing dog. And repeating that quick flow on the opposite side. So inhaling your left leg up. Stepping through into a high lunge. Go ahead and drop those hands. And drop your right knee toward the ground to come into a runner's lunge. You should really feel a stretch in your left hamstring. And then popping all the way onto your left foot for that standing half split. Toes facing down. And then take your right leg and cross it behind your left leg for your seated twist. So left foot should be facing the front of the mat, right foot should be facing the back of the mat. You can stay here, you can roll your shoulders, or you can take your left hand, put it on the floor, and reach that right hand for the back of the room. And then slowly cartwheeling back over toward the front to come into your half split. Drop that right foot for your runner's lunge, and we're doing this 2 more times. Exhaling, digging that left heel into the mat and dragging it backwards if you want a little bit more activation, a little bit more stretch. Putting the weight in that left foot, moving into that half split. Then go ahead and take that right leg, cross it behind your left leg for your seated twist. I'm going to take my left hand, drop it down, and reach my right hand toward the back of the room. And go ahead and cartwheel back over. Kicking that right foot toward the back, dropping it for your runner's lunge. And then popping forward into a half split. And back once more for your seated twist. This is great for your hips. And again here, you can either just stay like this and hang out, do those shoulder rolls if you want to, or drop your hand and reach your right hand for the back of the room or the back of the mat. And cartwheeling those hands around one more time. Coming back to a plank. Go ahead and exhale as you lower to the floor. Flip your feet over. We'll just do a couple twists here. So put your hands out to the sides, and then left leg toward right hand. Opposite side, right foot toward left hand. And do about 2 more of those on either side. And planting your hands, go ahead and push an upward facing dog, and then into downward facing dog. And here you can go ahead and walk your feet in. Inhale everything up. Exhale all the way down. Inhale up. Heel toe your feet out to the sides of the mat a little bit with your toes facing out and your heels facing in. And drop into yogi squat, everybody's favorite. Using your elbows to keep your knees pointed outwards, chest up as much as you can. Try to have your neck as neutral as possible here. And breathe about 3 times. From here, go ahead and drop down, rolling onto your back. Here you can go ahead, have a neutral neck. Just lay on the floor and bring your feet out to the sides of the mat, and then drop your knees in together. And as you drop your knees in together like that, take your lower back and see if your lower back can be flat on the mat. And see if that gives you a little bit of a release in your lower back muscles. So just breathe through this for about 3 inhales and 3 exhales. And then from there, point your knees up toward the ceiling, and then drop both knees toward the left side of the room, or wherever you're set up. So dropping your knees as much as possible. And then just windshield wiper to the other side. your arms wherever it's comfortable. If you want your arms down like this, that's fine. Out to the sides, or you can have them in a cross like this. And then just windshield wiper a few times at your own pace. And when you're done with that, go ahead and kick your feet out toward the front, drop your hands wherever you want, moving into a few minutes of Savasana, which is just some quiet breathing and relaxation. So feel free to either pause this, turn this off. I'll take a few minutes here and turn the tape back on at the end if you want, or the video. Okay, hopefully I managed to edit this correctly. So I will be putting together a few of these videos. I'll have them relatively short. Some of them might be body part focused. So maybe we'll do something for shoulders, upper body after a particularly hard YogaAtHome that's focused on upper body or lower body, or maybe it was cardio and we need some recovery time, whatever it is. So you guys can check back here, and I'll be trying to make a few of these every week. And if you have any special requests, let me know.